Hi, this is Tom Bertram, and this is my introductory speech. Trying to decide what I want to do for the speech. I realized I didn't have many unique traits. One did come to mind, and that's empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and to share the feelings of others. Also, empathy is a deep connection, almost like walking in somebody else's shoes. Growing up, I was never one to intentionally hurt anyone or anything. I think a lot of the positive choices we make come from negative experiences that we've gone through. Uh, my parents divorced when I was 8 years old, and my mother remarried to an abusive alcoholic. Fortunately, she left him, but not before we learned a lot of valuable lessons on how to treat or to not treat people. After a while, I learned that he was a Vietnam veteran and had PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. Back then, there wasn't a lot of studies like today, but there was probably a lot going on inside him that we didn't see. This helped me to see him from a different perspective and also to have empathy towards the challenges and the struggles that he went through. I probably have about 1,000 reasons or examples of empathy in my life, but let me cover just a few. Like most places, we have a decent amount of homeless people here in Wenatchee. That's where I live. As I pass by these people every day, I realize that they all have a past. I would wonder what happened in their lives that caused them to be here and to be in that situation. I always wonder if it was something horribly tragic. Or maybe a man lost his wife and kids and didn't know how to cope with it. Maybe there was a woman that was abused or something and had to leave and didn't know where to go. So driving by them, all I could do was think, but I never really knew. So myself and others decided to set up a barbecue at a park where a lot of the homeless people here live or hang out. And we gave them food and water. We just talked with them. Many asked why we would do this. My only response was that they are important, and that if I was in their position, I would appreciate that someone would have done the same for me. My wife and kids and I also did a lot of volunteer work at a place that served meals for the homeless people, and also anybody that was just struggling with things. It gave my family and I a better understanding and a great appreciation for ourselves, and to have empathy for those that aren't as fortunate as we are. I guess another example would be having 20 years of experience in construction. I've been through it all, starting as an apprentice, as a journeyman, going up to foreman, superintendent, and also owning my own company. Though this is through this time, I did get a lot of experience at all levels of construction, knowing the challenges that somebody new would be facing coming into the industry. I had the opportunity and was blessed to work with a lot of great teachers. I also worked with people who complained about everything and everyone, and it taught me a great lesson on how to lead others. I love to take on the challenge of someone new in the industry, being able to see the things from their perspective, having been through it myself, having the patience to teach them, sharing my experiences, both positive and negative. And having empathy has allowed me to stay calm during the stressful, fast-paced job site environment. Usually you're working on a deadline, and when I'm working with somebody new, they usually don't have a clue as to what's going on. But when they make the mistakes, instead of freaking out like people I've worked with in the past, we laugh about it, learn, and we move on. On a more embarrassing side of empathy, I've cried over some pretty stupid things that my wife would roll her eyes at. But, I mean, who hasn't gotten emotional over a Budweiser commercial? Or what about when Gamora was tossed off the edge by Thanos? My kids get me. Also, what about when John Wick's dog dies? Things like that are pretty ridiculous, but still, they kind of tug at me. Anyways, in conclusion, I always try to put myself in somebody else's shoes. spending time and getting to know people helps to build a better understanding of how they see things, and not just seeing things from my perspective, but also being empathetic towards and understanding what other people are going through. Thank you.